Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is Baylan Megino at the Leader's Edge, and today I am actually I'm excited. I'm excited to have this guest. This is because we have so much fun. We have so much fun talking.
We do.
Today we have Vera Thomas. Welcome, Vera.
Hi, Baylan. It is an honor to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me tell them a bit about you. Vera is a life coach, speaker, trainer, mediator, poet, an 8-time best-selling author, producer of a weekly podcast and radio show, The Vera Thomas Show. She has worked with individuals, companies, nonprofit organizations, schools, and churches, engaging youth and adults to develop, design, and deliver soft skills training and leadership programs. As a poet, she developed an after-school program allowing students to express through poetry, short story, song, or rap. She taught presentation skills and how to do vision boards. She has other programs, though, for youth. They include the All School Assembly, I Believe in Me, the anti-bullying program, Using My Power, and My Greatness, which is designed to increase self-esteem and confidence. She also has a parents program called Instilling Greatness in Myself and My Children, where parents examine attitudes and behaviors that impact their children's lives. She works with companies who want to transform their teams or with families who want to transform their lives. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We've been trying to get this one for a little while now,
Yes,
haven't
we
we, Vera?
have. Yes, we have.
We have both been so incredibly busy with all the work that we've been doing, right? So
Yes,
much has been changing in the world.
yes.
What have you been seeing have been the I'm going to just jump right on in. What have you been seeing have been the problems that parents are facing right now, especially given, having stayed at home for 2 years and being up close and personal with their kids in whole new ways?
Yes.
What do you
And
think?
as a result of that, I think parents are kind of frustrated and children are also, because children pick up on the frustrations and the energies that they're getting from their parents. And so parents hire me to help address those issues and to help build confidence and self-esteem in their children. And as a result of doing that, children learn how to better handle their frustrations and the things that they're going through in their everyday life as well. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Just being a kid nowadays is so challenging,
It
right? It
is.
always has been, but I think even more so now because of all of the pressures around technology, around school, and kids not learning social skills, right?
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
they're in their electronics so much, they're not, interacting with other kids. And so, what are for you finding? What are the kinds of things that are helpful for them to learn to increase their self confidence and their self esteem?
Well, one thing, understanding, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make me feel inferior without my permission. And once children learn that, then they're able to cope with whatever they are being told by other children or even their parents. Because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes parents get so frustrated, and sometimes they may come across in such a way that the child may feel a little less than. Not that parents want to do that. They don't want to do that, but sometimes we can't teach what we don't know and we can't give what we don't have. And so many times parents are coming into parenting with their own unresolved issues and baggage. And as a result of them doing that, they're transferring those things onto their children. So if we can instill confidence and self-esteem in a child to help them understand that it is within you to have that confidence, to have that wherewithal to be able to handle any situation. And so by looking at their love language, to understand how best am I communicated with, and how can I share that information with my parents so that they understand if you approach me this way, you're going to probably get a better response than if you're yelling at me or if you're coming at me from a negative perspective. So helping parents and children look at every situation, understanding it's not the situation, but how we see the situation that can make all the difference in the world. And so my programs help children and parents better understand how to handle whatever may come their way with confidence and the assurance that I'm going to make the right decision.
Wow, I think adults need that one. Adults really, we need that. We need that. Can I be confident I'm making the right decision? Wow, really. So what are the kinds of things that kids learn? What are the tools that you use to help them gain that confidence and that self-esteem to really feel that they can do this themselves?
Well,
Yeah.
one, I am a big proponent of affirmations.
Mm.
And so my program starts with children affirming themselves immediately. And every day of that program, they are affirming themselves. And then I have tools that's going to help them. I create customized, personalized tools designed in their favorite color, depicting their positive attributes, and also the things that they want to change is created in the product as if it exists the way they want it to exist. I have had children, one of the questions that I often ask when I'm doing my work with children, first, what is it that you like about yourself? And then the other is, what is it that you feel you need to work on? And I'm telling you, this one class, almost every child said they needed to work on their anger issues. And when they said that, of course, I don't want to just hear, I need to work on this. I want facts and evidence. So give me examples of how your anger has impacted on you. And so then giving them ways to diffuse that anger and calm themselves to handle whatever the situation is. And so those are some of the things that we're going to be doing in this camp that we're planning. And also having children be able to speak with confidence, because a lot of times, because of the lack of social skills, oftentimes children, when they're talking to you, they're looking down, they don't have that eye contact, they're not being taught how important eye contact is. And so we're going to be doing presentation skills where kids, and not just so that a child can become a professional speaker, but no, so that a child will be able to speak even with their parents with confidence, with looking in their eye and sharing how they feel, and then allowing parents to understand the days of the authoritarian parenting style is past and gone. We have very intelligent children, and they just need to be heard, and they need to be seen. Growing up, we were told, you don't want, how we were raised, to
Well,
keep
yeah,
our mouth
yeah, you
shut.
had to be seen and not heard.
Right. And to stay in a child's place. Well, kids have feelings, kids have thoughts, kids want to be able to express. And when parents are not allowing them to express, and that's not saying you're going to listen to what they say and then do what they want you to do. No, you want to get that feedback and then make a decision as a parent that's going to be the best decision for all concerned.
Absolutely, absolutely. Parent I don't know, is it harder to be a parent now than it used to be, or is it just there's a different set of challenges, a new set of challenges?
Well, given everything that's happened in our society,
Mm,
with COVID, with parents being more confined in the home with their children, things are different. And also, we have to consider, we've got a lot of young parents that weren't taught those things themselves.
mm-hmm.
Spirituality used to be very much a part of a family's life. And I'm not talking religion, I'm talking spirituality, because it doesn't matter what your faith may be, but that spiritual connection is so important. And kids don't have it because parents aren't living according to their spiritual self, if that makes sense. And so one of the challenges, because growing up, everybody I knew had some kind of faith-based experience, either going to Sunday school, going to church, or something, going to mosque or going to doing something. But anymore, parents aren't taking their kids to experience that kind of spirituality. And those are that's how we build that's not, well, not confidence, but that's how we develop our values and our morals and all of those things. And if parents aren't displaying those things, then how are their children going to learn those things?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that families are able to access now. There
Yes,
is
yes,
online. I mean, obviously, during the whole past 2 years, many have done the online route. Um, but it really takes a lot more concentration and focus for parents to decide, oh, this is something that I want to make sure is on my parenting curriculum.
yes,
You know,
yes.
this is something that's important to me as a parent to make sure that my child experiences. Yeah.
Yes, teaching empathy, teaching being concerned about things other than yourself. Those are so important. And those are the things that can help children build their confidence and their self-esteem. When we're focused on other people or looking at helping other people, then it helps us to build that confidence. And so parents engaging their kids in that way, taking them to a soup kitchen or doing something that's going to help in the community and taking their children with them, that's how you gain that empathy. That's how you gain that confidence. That's how you gain that compassion for other people. And so that's very much a part of things that parents need to really consider, especially during hard times. Because during hard times, if we're focusing in primarily on the hard times that we're feeling within ourselves and not looking at, there may be others out here that are in worse condition. It's like that story. I once complained I had no shoes until I met someone that had no feet. And so teaching kids to have that kind of empathy is also very important. And so in the camp, we'll have little exercises and assessments that children will be able to see for themselves where they're at on that empathy continuum.
Nice. Okay, so you mentioned a camp. So, I did you have I mentioned several of the different offerings that you have, different trainings and workshops and things like that. So, talk to us about this camp.
Well, it is a 5-day camp for 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds.
Oh.
And it is designed to help build confidence, self-esteem, and an intro to presentation skills. Now, what I'm going to do within those 5 days is incorporate some key components from some of the other programs that I have done. For example, the bullying program. I want kids to assess, am I a bully? Have I been bullied or am I a bystander? And what can I do to change? If I'm a bully, what can I do to change that? If I'm bullied, how do I empower? How can I become empowered to not have a bully impact on me the way that they have in the past? If I'm a bystander, how can I gain the courage to speak up when I see that a child is being bullied? And I have examples of kids. My granddaughter, for example, one day she was telling me how she saw a boy bullying a girl. And she went up to him and said, "That's not nice." She just went right up to him and said, "That's not nice. You should not do that." And as a result of her saying that to him, he felt bad and, and left the little girl alone. And so teaching kids how to speak without getting angry or frustrated or yelling or screaming at another child, but to just come at them from a calm perspective, it can help change some of these children.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, okay, so I know, let's see, where are you?
I'm in Marietta, Georgia.
That's right, Georgia. I'm sorry. For
Yes.
some reason,
Now
I was thinking North Carolina. I have no idea why. Maybe North Carolina's in your near future. Who
I
knows?
don't know. I love it here. I
Maybe it's a
absolutely
visit. Maybe it's a visit. I don't
to
know.
visit.
It's a
That sounds
visit, or
good.
maybe it's a new client. I don't know. We'll see.
And maybe I'm going there to speak
Maybe, maybe.
or do training.
You do trainings. Absolutely.
Yes.
Opportunities are abounding now that people are starting to come out.
Yes.
And people are
Yes.
looking for what are the experiences that I want my child to have this summer. Is this something that you're doing this year for the summer only, or are you thinking of doing it during the year, maybe like on weekends?
Actually, I have thought about that, but right now my focus is the summer camp. And I'm excited because it will be 5 days, but I'm doing it every week in June. The first camp, and it is online. Now, I know that parents oftentimes are concerned about things online. So, what I'm excited about, these children will be anonymous in that we will not be sharing their names during the course of the camp, because the very first day, I'm going to have them choose an adjective that describes them using the first letter of their name. And we will refer to them by that name during the 5 days. And that also reinforces a positive attribute that they have. And so, for example, I would say, well, my name is Vera and I am vivacious. Okay. Wouldn't you say that? And so,
Absolutely.
when I share my name, and then I'm going to ask each child to share, and we're going to make it a game so that they'll remember each other's names. So I'm excited. That's the first thing we're going to do. So that they are anonymous during the course of this camp. We will use their names. And one of the other reasons that I want to do it that way is because this camp will be repurposed. And in so doing, we want our kids to want that confidentiality and anonymity. I have a hard time with that word, but you know what I'm saying. So that there's no jeopardy of anything going wrong with a child being seen and known.
Right, right.
And
Okay.
and also, like, the first camp is for boys and girls. The second camp is for girls only. The third camp is for boys only. And the fourth camp is for boys and girls. Now, I am only selecting 10 kids because I want this camp to be personal. And I want this camp to really impact on these children's lives. And more than 10, we might get lost in the sauce. So I want to make sure that we are doing what we said we're going to do, and you'll be able to see results. Another reason for the video is children are going to actually be able to see their progression from day 1 to day 5. They're going to see it themselves. And that's exciting.
That is exciting. But as a parent, am I going to be able to see this videos, or is there going to be some, like a graduation?
There is going to be a graduation, and at the graduation, it's going to be the following Saturday, the Saturday after the last camp. And we're going to be inviting parents to come on the Zoom. They're going to see their kids presenting what they have learned within those 5 days. And it is my prayer, hope, and intent that parents will even see the change in their child from the day they came into the camp and the last day of the camp. It's exciting. It's exciting.
That sounds like so much fun. So much fun. I wish we had stuff like that when I was growing up. That would be.
And this is a part, I'm taking a lot of what I'm doing as a result of the after school program that I did from 2004 until 2012. And it was a writing, and we'll probably incorporate the kids writing some things to express some things so that they can then use that to present. And so we will be incorporating some writing. They may want to write a short story or a poem or a song or a rap. I've had children actually create a song in my class, and I videotaped it so that they could see. I mean, this one little girl, I think she was in the 5th grade, and she wrote this song called "I Believe in Me." And it was beautiful. I mean, she had a beautiful voice, and that builds confidence too. When you allow children to utilize their talent and their skills, and a lot of kids are into rapping. And so if you want to rap your expressions and your feelings, you'll be able to do that as well. And so we're going to do that on the 3rd day of the camp. That will be a part of that curriculum, so that Thursday we can practice, and that Friday we'll practice, and then that Saturday they'll be ready to present to their parents.
Well, I hope you're going to be doing this like in all the school breaks, if it's the week off, like spring break, my kid can come to your camp,
Yes.
I think that would be really, really good if we could have access to this, because if you're only going to be doing it 4 weeks, maybe.
I'm doing it 4 weeks, 4 weeks now, but
Mhm.
this is just the beginning.
So people will want to know what's the most up-to-date information, because they'll be seeing this at different times. What is your website? Where should they go for more information?
Now, to register for the camp, they need to go to bit.ly/greatness 2022. And that's bit.ly/greatness 2022. And that's all lower caps. Now, I do have some items I would love to give to parents. And one is an audio of my poem. Oh my God. You know what happens when you get old. Hold fast to your dreams.
Excited.
I know. Hold fast to your dreams is an audio that can be downloaded, and then the printed version can also be downloaded. And I also have an ebook of affirmations and prayers for healing of the mind, the body, and the soul. And so they'll be able to download those things at instillinggreatness.com.
Okay.
Instillinggreatness.com.
Okay, great. Wonderful. So that's the name of your company, right?
Yes, Instilling Greatness.
Yeah, your coaching practice.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. And if somebody wants to have you as a speaker, where do they go?
They can email me at instillinggreatness1117@gmail.com.
Mhm.
They can DM me at the Vera Thomas Show or Instagram. Vera.Thomas.779. And so you can reach me, or if you want to call me or text me, you can. You can. That number is 330-265-0999. 330-265-0999. And I would love to be able to come into your communities and talk about instilling greatness. You know, and I'm excited because before COVID, I did a 3-part series at a school. It was at a Christian school. The first component, during the school day, I went into the 3rd grade classes, 4th grade and 5th grade, and did my greatness program. And then the next session, fathers actually came to the school during the school day, did vision boards with their children, and went into my program, Instilling Greatness, that evening. The 3rd session, mothers came to the school, did a special project with their children, and went into my program that evening. And so that's a full-blown program. And we also were able to do an all-school assembly before we did the classes. And so you can make it a full day with me.
Well, you know me, vision boards. You got me on the vision board.
Oh, yes. Oh, and you know, when I did that program and kids did vision boards, and they would come back after the break and find me and say, Miss Thomas, guess what? I put this on my map and it happened. One little girl put a horse on her map. Now, this is in the city, right? And I asked her, why did you put a horse on your map? She said, because I want a horse. And I don't know if her family lived in a more rural area or what, but this child came back and said that she got a horse. I was like, well, vision boards work. They work.
They work.
They really do. If you can see it, you can have it. And that's the truth. If you can speak it, it can be done. And so it is.
Amen. There we go.
And I've learned a lot of this from you.
You did?
Yes,
No,
I did.
You knew a lot of this stuff before you got to me. I just helped you put the pieces together.
Yes, you did. And I really appreciate that. But, you know, vision boards has been a part of my life for, oh my God, forever. It really has. Because I know, I mean, I can give examples of boards that I've done where they just happen. It just happened. So, yes, it's amazing.
They're magic. They're like magic.
They are. And one of my, but one of my programs, if I even online, I will incorporate that as an activity. It will not be an activity with this summer camp because we won't have time to focus on that, but that will be very much a part.
That would be fun to have like vision boarding as the part of the day for the graduation, you know, leads up to or something like that. I don't know. Be fun. Or you could have it as a separate day.
Or
yeah,
I could have it as an exercise that they do with their parents. I have to flesh that out.
Yeah, but it's
a great idea because
have them doing the processing together.
Yes, and one of the things that I will have these kids doing things that they will be able to go back to their parents and talk about and even share some things. There's some activities and exercises that I'm going to have them do that they will need to include their parents in that. So I'm excited. It's, you know, it's going to be transformational. I can promise that it is going to be transformational. And with the tools that the children are getting, if parents are consistent in using those tools once the camp is over, they're going to see, oh my God, they're going to see their kids' confidence and self-esteem just soar through the roof. They really are. Because I've seen it happen.
So as part of the summer camp, you'll be telling telling or teaching or showing the parents how to continue on with what you're teaching them?
I want to interview each parent before the camp. I would like to, so that they know what to expect and what I want to encourage them to do at the end of the camp. So I will be meeting with them. And plus, there are forms that need to be signed and contracts and things of that nature. So I do want, it's not just I want to, I am mandating that I have a chance to talk with each parent of the children that are participating in the camp. That's very important.
Well, I would say at least one of the parents, because sometimes it's not possible to do both. Yeah.
Yes, at least one, at least one. You know, and if it's a single parent, then it's a no-brainer. But if it is a couple, then yes.
Well, okay. So the way that people find out about your program is to go to https://bit.ly/greatness 2022. Oh, I love that.
Yes,
Greatness 2022.
yes, 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 yes.
Okay, and if
And
they
it's
want to
all
find out more,
lowercase. It's all lowercase.
and if they want to find out more about you, then they should go to instillinggreatness.com.
Yes,
Yes. And you
yes,
can be found on all the social media.
yes. I am
Yes.
on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, which I don't use Twitter very much, and also
Instagram.
Instagram. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Instagram, yes.
Okay. All right. So, um, any last thoughts?
I just want to say to parents, if you really want to see some transformation in your children, then you really want to enroll them in this 5-day camp. The camp will be from 9 to noon, Monday through Friday, each week of June. And again, the first week will be for boys and girls ages 8 to 12. The second camp will be all girls. The third camp will be all boys. And the fourth camp will be all girls and boys. Again, ages 8 to 12. And I'm only taking 10 so that we can really make an impact. So first come, first serve.
So, what are you going to do if you get so full and there's like this huge waiting list? Are you going to have a waiting list?
If I have a waiting list, then I will schedule another camp.
Oh, there
Because
we go.
yes, I'll just schedule another camp because I do not want more than 10 kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important so that we can really make a difference. Now, once I have more staff working with me, then I would be able to handle more kids. But since it's just me, I want that one-on-one and that personal with these children. And so 10 would be perfect.
Well, I think it's going to be for me. If it were me and I were a parent that had a child that I was thinking of bringing to your program, I would want them to have you. So I encourage people to contact and sign up. Sign up so you can grab one of those seats because all that's doing is it's allowing you to have your interview with Vera to make sure that it's going to be a fit for you and your child to come into the program.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's important. And I may very well, since you brought up both parents, I may very well do it as a Zoom meeting with the parent and then record it so that if the other spouse cannot be there, they will at least be able to see what we talked about.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us, Vera.
Well,
I'm
thank
excited
you.
to see what you're
Thank you.
doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited because I know, and you know, one of the reasons that I do what I do, particularly with kids, is because having grown up hearing all those negative tapes myself, I don't want any child to ever feel like I felt growing up when I was told those things. And so just being able to encourage them and lift them and to give parents some tools to help lift them that's what I want to do. I mean, with all my heart, that's what I want to do.
So that they get to the point where they have so much confidence and self-esteem that they'll say, that's not true. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
not.
Someone may call you a name and all you have, no, that's not true. Not
Oh,
at all. It's not true.
wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Vera Thomas, for joining us on the Leader's Edge, because you know what? We're talking about helping our budding leaders and what are the skills
Yes.
that they need to be able to become the
Yes.
leaders that we are expecting
Yes.
to lead the world in
Yes.
the future.
Yes. And in order to do that, you got to start with confidence. You've got to start with that self-love. And before we go, one of my sessions, I had a little 10-year-old boy say under his breath, I can't stand to look in the mirror. And I said, what did you say? He said, I can't stand to look in the mirror. And it was the session where the mothers were at this workshop. And the mothers now his mother was not in the picture. And so the mothers rallied around him. But what was even more impelling was how the children rallied around him and showed him so much love. We have a tendency to think negatively about our kids, but kids are full of love and they're full of excitement. And we just have to bring it out of them. We just have to bring it out of them. But to see how these kids rallied around their classmate and showed him, it was emotional to see that. And so those are the kinds of transformations that we're talking about. You're muted. You're muted.
I know what I'm going to ask you that we didn't really touch on. How long have you been working with children and
Oh
in
my goodness.
education?
I have been in my career for over 40 years. I started working with children before I had any children. And at that point, I was an expert. When you don't have kids, you know everything. Well, once I had a child, I understood, okay, it's not that simple. It's just not that simple. And so, but I've been oh my God, over 40 years working with, as a matter of fact, my very first training when I was 25, and I'm old now, but when I was 25, my very first training was with a group of children. And that was also when I knew what my purpose was. Because before that, I was like, Lord, what is my purpose? Why was I born? And when I had an opportunity to do this program, it was called I Am, I Can, I Will. And that following week, that Saturday, in the mail, I got all these letters from these kids that just telling me how the program impacted them. And I knew then that training was what God purposed me to do. And so I've been on this journey for a long time, and I have a passion for it, and it is my purpose. And so being able to make a difference, not only in children's lives, but in people's lives, that's what I've done for the past 40 years.
Well, thank you so much for the gift of your presence and bringing everything out so that several generations that you've been impacting are now growing up and adults at this point.
Yes,
Adults,
yes.
and making those ripples in the world. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for helping to promote this camp.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you,
All
Vera.
right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.